Hirarc analysis process. The incident will be investigated by conducting risk assessment using the guidelines issued by Department of Safety and Health, DSH, which is Hirarc 2008. Use the findings from incident investigations to make necessary improvements to the Hirarc process and enhance safety measures. Hirarc, hazard identification, risk assessment, and risk control, is a systematic process used to identify, assess, and control workplace hazards and risks. This process is commonly used in occupational health and safety management to ensure a safe working environment. The description of the investigation process via Hirarc analysis are hazard identification, risk assessment, risk control, and documentation. 1. Hazard identification. The first step in the Hirarc analysis process is to identify all potential hazards in the workplace. This involves a thorough examination of the workplace, processes, equipment, and activities. To identify hazards, gather information through workplace inspections, consultation with employees, reviewing incident reports, and examining safety data sheets, SDS, for chemicals used in the workplace. Document each identified hazard, including its location and nature. 2. Risk assessment. Once hazards are identified, the next step is to assess the associated risks. Risk assessment involves evaluating the likelihood and severity of potential harm or adverse events resulting from each hazard. Use a risk matrix or similar tool to categorize risks based on likelihood, probability, and severity consequences. Assign numerical values or ratings to each hazard, considering factors like the frequency of exposure, potential harm, and the number of people at risk. Calculate the overall risk level for each hazard by multiplying the likelihood and severity ratings. 3. Risk control. After assessing the risks, prioritize them based on their level of severity and likelihood. Focus on the most significant risks that pose the greatest danger. Develop and implement risk control measures to reduce or eliminate the identified hazards. Review and reassess the effectiveness of these control measures regularly. 4. Documentation. Maintain detailed records of the Hirarc analysis, including the list of identified hazards, risk assessments, control measures, and any changes or updates made to the process. Ensure that all relevant personnel are informed about the identified hazards and the control measures in place. Hazard identification 1. Work activity. Driller removes some bark from the tree trunk of the infected palm tree at a height of about half a meter from ground level. Hazard, sharp edges from the tree trunk, which can cause slash effect. Likelihood, 5. Severity, 1. Risk level, 5 medium. Risk control. Wear a leather glove. Hazard identification 2. Work activity. The sealer will close the hole with soil to seal the pesticides inside the trunk palm oil tree. Hazard. Exposed to pesticide-type methimidophosph by fumes on air, which can cause slash effect. Poisoning incident, headache and vomiting, fatal if inhaled. Likelihood, 4. Severity, 4. Risk level, 16, high. Risk control. Provide respiratory mask. Train workers about chemical safety procedure. Hazard identification 3. Work activity. Drills a hole at the cleared spot using a motorized driller. Hazard. Flying debris from the trunk, which can cause slash effect, can injure the eyes. Likelihood, 5. Severity, 2. Risk level, 10, medium. Risk control. Wear a safety goggle or install a guard on the machine. Hazard identification 4. Work activity. Poisoning wild grass around oil palm trees. Hazard. Splash pesticide to skin on hand area, which can cause slash effect, based on fatal if swallowed toxic in contact with skin. Likelihood, 5. Severity, 4. Risk level, 20, high. Risk control. Provide rubber glove. Train workers on SP of a chemicals hygiene, like the awareness of washing hands after using chemicals. Prepared by Nurul Anis Farwiza bin Maslin, Muhammad Luqman Hakim bin Narazah.